What is up, everybody? Hopefully, you had a wonderful day. Before I get into the Weiss Schwarz, I do want to talk about Magic the Gathering and the Bushiroad magazine really quickly. So, bear with me. So, hopefully, you all were able to, that wanted to get the Magic the Gathering Secret Lair 30th Anniversary Countdown Kit, got one. Because if you didn't, it's sold out. Gone. No more. That's what they say, anyways. They said it was limited because they had to print it and they had to set numbers so that they can make sure to have it sent out before the actual holidays. I think, judging by how Wizards has always been or has been lately, I imagine it would make sense to them to do a reprint of this. We'll see. We'll see what actually happens. If you take a look out on eBay, these things are going for roughly double the amount, right? You get some sales at 281. Here is 270, roughly 288, 400, 275. So roughly double the amount. So pretty nice. I know there was a couple people in some of my groups that got a whole lot of them. I was able to get some, so thankfully that happened there. Next up, we got Bushiroad magazine for December 2022. You know, I've been buying and I've been opening and doing videos of this Bushiroad magazine. This is November. I didn't open it. It's actually pretty cool. It has this little manga book inside of here, I believe, and the magazine itself. So I can't wait to actually open that, check that out, get my Raise a Ceiling promo card, which I've opened that set, so I'm excited to get the promo card. But December was very important because if you've seen any of those magazine videos, I told you to watch out for the December one, because more than likely it's going to have an Overlord or it's going to have a Sword Art Online PR card inside of it. So the cover looks really amazing. We got Girls Band Party on here. Looks really, really cool. I'm excited for that. But more importantly, we have this Asuna SAO 10th anniversary card. One of those ones that I would say, I don't know how I feel about it. I love the card. It looks amazing. I know someone asked me about, is there going to be some sort of value going around with this card? I will say if she was like half missing her clothes, then maybe that's a slam dunk, right? We had that Kurumi card that came out in October. And when you look at this one, she's fully clothed, which is not a bad thing. I don't need to have her naked or anything like that. But when you take a look at her and you take a look at other comparable cards of this, you're not going to see as much of a price appreciation. Again, we don't even know print numbers for the Bushiroad magazine. There's a whole lot that we don't know what's going on. And keep in mind, this is celebrating the Sword Art Online 10th anniversary for the anime, something that is going to be coming out for English. So this is a Japanese card. We don't know if it's going to show up in English at all, but if it does, then you can get it then. If you want to be guaranteed this card, then you pick up this magazine or buy from someone on Facebook. I saw someone pre-selling these cards on Facebook. So there you go. The other ones in here, we have Chikawa. That is coming out for Weiss Schwarz Blau. Like I said, I did buy a trial deck of this because I think it's really cute. I think it'd be fun to just show people. And then we have Teppen, Rebirth for You. It looks really cool. I'm excited to check this out. I did not buy this one for Rebirth for You. And then, of course, we have Card Fight Vanguard. Not to say that I'm skipping over it, but it's not like when you look at one of these doesn't fit, right? We got a lovely Asuna. We got a cute Chikawa, and then we got this really pretty looking and cutesy looking Teppen card, and then we have a giant bat for Card Fight Vanguard. So one of them didn't fit there. Anyways, then you get a poster of Girls Band Party, which is pretty cool. And you get this Card Fight Vanguard one, but Girls Band Party, there we go. Okay, if you haven't logged in the Girls Band Party, they are doing a event right now. You get 10 free pulls. So if you haven't played in a while, you might want to log in and get those pulls. Now, I want to move on to Alpha Investments. He did a video of opening Fate Grand Order. I'm not going to put his name in the description or the title or anything like that for whatever reason. I'm not trying to pull people in for that at all. So let's just keep that in mind. What I wanted to talk about was something that he said in the video when he was opening Fate Grand Order. It was a good video. Check that out. There's some points I agreed with. There's some points that I think could be added on to what he was saying. And that's what I want to do here because people are wondering about the prices of these boxes. why some boxes are doing bad. So I'm just going to do a quick little thing here. When he was opening it, he was saying these boxes were about $40. Again, don't quote me word for word. Watch his video. Make sure that I'm saying it right because I don't have any notes or anything like that. So I apologize if I misquote anything that he said here, okay? That's not my intention at all. So, $40 boxes, people were telling him, I didn't say it, but people were telling him that these boxes were trash, that it wasn't good. So, at $40 though, I do feel like that is way too low for these boxes. I will 100% agree with that fact. There is a point where stuff is just too low, right? If you watch my Bang Dream Girls Band Party premium booster box, I was trying to figure out what the real price, EV wise, of that booster box was. Same idea when you take a look at Fate Grand Order, any of these sets that are coming out, right? There is a magic number where these things are way too low. They shouldn't be at that number and they could be picked up. But think about what is going on in the world right now, right? So, point number one, what is happening? We are in the middle of a recession. My opinion, anyways, we're in the middle of recession. Depending on who you talk to or the news, you may get a different answer. But I can tell you, if you look at my videos, check out some of the comments, there are people definitely saying they used to buy a couple boxes, they used to buy cases, and now they're just one to have, one trial deck to display, one to open for fun. That is really what people are doing. Maybe they're buying some singles now as well, but with the recession happening, with all these other things worth buying, with the holidays coming up, the money is definitely getting low. And when you take a look at Fate Grand Order, let's just take a look at Fate Grand Order, right? Remember what was missing from the set, and that's not something I heard in that video, is you do not have signatures on this SPs. You're not getting any of the signatures that I love personally. Maybe people collect this for other reasons. I collect it because I want those fancy, foily, flashy cards, and I want the signatures. What we got here is no signatures. We got whatever is on there, like a quote on there. I can't read that, so I'm not going to attempt to say what is on there, but there is no signature, and that's a problem, right? What was replaced on here is a chance at a serial number. And for me personally, even though the value of serial numbers can be seen, right? You could see people selling these for thousands, hundreds to thousands of dollars. You could see that with the Bunny Girl set. Well, not Bunny Girl, Dreaming Girl set, and you can see that with Saekano. Saekano did, even though Saekano's not doing really well, you can actually see some sales in the thousands of dollars for Saekano serial number cards. That is a humongous problem because the more and more of these come out, it seems like the less demand there is. One of the other things that was missed in here was Fate Grand Order is not that great of an anime, right? There's not a whole lot of people following this. I show this in my buy or invest video. If you haven't checked it out, I do a comprehensive breakdown of the anime, the meta, the different characters, sometimes the voice actors. It depends on the set when I do that. But you could see that this wasn't going to be one of the greatest ones. When you talk about the meta, not the greatest on this set as well. And we know for this to work out, this ecosystem that we got of a card game, you need collectors, you need players, and sometimes you want the investors as well. As some people may say we don't want them, but having all three of them having huge amounts of interest in this for whatever reason, there are different reasons, is needed to make this successful. And my thing with the booster boxes is keep in mind everything I said. So recession, the desirability of the set, the lack of signatures, the playability. What we have here is a box that, yeah, you could see it and say it's really low in price, and I agree with you. There's not too much lower that this thing can go. I mean, it can always go down further, but there's going to be a point where some people think, you know what, that's pretty low. It's going to be worth holding on to the future. But if I asked you, if I told you I'm giving you 60 bucks, like dude on the street, I give you 60 bucks. You need to pick between getting one and a half of these Fate Grand Order booster boxes, right? If you can actually buy half a booster box, or I will give you the opportunity to buy this sneaker Bunko box at $60. Because not too long ago, the majority of you had the opportunity to do that. I did. It was a great time. I bought a whole lot of them, and they're just sitting in a dark, dark place at this point until the day I go and decide to open some more. Um, if I gave you the opportunity to buy one or the, and I say $60 because you could buy booster boxes in the 50s or the $60. So 60 seems like a good number to pick at, right? So if you could buy this at $60, which would you choose? You more than likely you're gonna pick the sneaker Bunko, and to the people that did, congratulations, because sneaker Bunko went to 130 $140, right? These other boxes here, you could see people were being really honest, and they're saying that there is no SPs, no SBRs. These are dead boxes. They already got all the good stuff out of it. So if you're buying it, you're probably going to use it for display, or you just want to see if you can get some nice SRs, because there are some nice SRs in there. There are some triple rares in there as well. So really cool that people are willing to do that. I think that speaks volumes to them, that they're willing to be forward with people. Maybe you take a look at them as a seller in the future. I don't know. Just my thought. So that is what I believe is happening here. It's there is this whole which one is better, which one am I going to pick? Because not everybody has a lot of money with things coming up. And that's one of the ones that Weiss Schwarz definitely needs to watch out for. So that is my advice to Weiss Schwarz. You need to be very choosy about what you put out. Like maybe this idea of putting power up sets for really old stuff that maybe is going to be reprinted, maybe not. It's going to be challenging. I wonder how many people are really going to buy this, right? Like it's scary. I don't know if I would have done that. I mean, if I wouldn't have I wouldn't have done that. Sorry. I wouldn't have, even though it was as shocking as that was when we were on that quarterly communication. You could go back and listen to me and Audrey, and that was very shocking to me. I totally missed the hint. We have other things coming up, right? So do if somebody has 200 bucks right now and you take a look at this schedule, what are they going to put more of their money into? Right? Like which one of these sets coming out? I know, me personally, I can tell you, the Quintessential Quintuplets movie. I'm gonna be buying Chainsaw Man because Chainsaw Man is really good. I do love that episode was good. Episode 4 was really good if you haven't seen that. There also is let's see, here's Saekano set 2, Bang Dream, Sword Art Online 10th anniversary. See, so you can see because of Weiss Schwarz coming out with that quarterly communication and telling us what's coming, what they're really doing is, in a way, they are having everybody budget for the future. Also, what they're doing is they're killing some of the sales for some of the other sets, if you really think about it, because people might have bought, let's say, Avatar The Last Airbender, but looking at that $200, they're like, maybe I won't buy Avatar. Maybe I'm going to wait for Sword Art Online 10th anniversary. I'm going to wait for Chainsaw Man. I'm going to wait for Quints movie, right? Because people pre-order these pretty early, 3 months out, and it always catches people off guard when that pre-order comes up and they don't have the money for it. So this was a nice thing to do. Maybe that hurt the overall sales that they're going to actually have in the future. Because again, power up sets come out in March. I don't own these cards. I don't own Kill la Kill. I don't own Log Horizon. I do have Haruhi Suzumiya, but am I really willing to buy any of these two sets? Right, that's what I'm looking at when I have all this coming out. So going back to the beginning here, just to recap, yeah, $40 for a booster box seems really low, and it's something worth buying a couple of, or not at all, right? Just because if you see these other ones coming out, that's how Weiss Schwarz works, right? There is a whole lot to do with the IP about the hype of the set. So do you want a set that no one's really watched, it's kind of oldish, or and not as good, or do you want to buy one of the most talked about animes right now, Chainsaw Man? And I think, see, so you have this Newtype Magazine coming out for December 2022. Pre-orders probably will start showing up soon. So there you go. If you want this Newtype Magazine with Denji on the front for Chainsaw Man, and all-out coverage of 13 cast and staff groups, a pinup of the cover illustration as well, then maybe you buy this Newtype magazine. Maybe you buy Chainsaw Man when they announce the actual release. But that is really what's going on here. FGO, if you want to buy it, if you love it, I'm not dissing your anime. Definitely a decent price out there for you, something worth picking up. But at the same time, you can see what's happening here. We have a pretty stacked out IP anime list coming up here. Some people may not like the Fruits of Grisaia. Some people might like Saekano flat. But at the same time, there is enough here that people can pick and choose from, okay? What we have next is Saekano. Thinking about Saekano. Saekano, as well, as I told you, definitely not one of those hugely strongly followed sets as compared to other ones. This is also an Aniplex set. This just came out, and you can see booster box $47.75. If that is too low for you, then take a look at this one, $47.99. We have $50, $54.99. So roughly in the $50 range here. Saekano suffered from a lot of the same things as Fate Grand Order did. What we have, well, as I was saying that, I'm looking at the screen and I'm like, there's a bunch of girls on here. So let me go back a little. Let's not look at these triple rares. Let's take a look at these non-sign cards. So we got special rares here. These special rares, signatures were removed. This is Aniplex, and they were replaced with a stamp. And I do, again, love the Blessing software stamp that we got going on here. There's these petals going on. I think that's really cool. There are serial numbers, as I mentioned, sold for thousands of dollars. But is that enough to actually make people want this? No, because player side, this set alone is not going to be enough to play with. You get set 2, which helps it a little bit. You need movie set to help it a lot. But again, now you're investing into 3 actual sets of cards, or at least singles of cards anyways. And you have to wait who knows how long to actually get that all. And that's if they don't actually restrict it like they did for Japan. I doubt that they will, but you know, who knows anymore? Who knows what's actually going to happen? I don't think they will, but I'm not a player. Let someone else tell you about that. So we're going to take a look at all the different cards here, just from groups to groups, and it'll just help prove my point here. So let me go with the sign cards, and I need to hit super rare because, as I mentioned on another video, TCG Player has messed this all up. They have super rares being classified as special rares. They have special rares classified as super rares. So I'm going to put this in alphabetical order. You're going to notice a couple things right away. You can see the amount of listings. There's only 6 listings of these Michiru. And you might say that's a lot, but really, if you look at the other sets, if you looked over my string of videos from the past year and a half, these listings are definitely way higher than that. You can look at Quints too and see how many there are of that. There are not a lot of these actual SP cards that exist or for sale on TCG Player. And there's other cards being sold in different places, but TCG Player has been pretty consistent about how many cards are showing up, how many listings there are. And that's what you can see across the board, right? And you even have this Suzumiya for $64.99, none actually sold. There are cards that have sold. You can take a look at that one. We got Haruhi down there. Anyways, going back, so trial deck, we have your trial deck for $44.44. You get 2 in a case, and if you buy a case for $800 and you can actually sell it for this price, you're making money. But the problem is there's not a whole lot of interest in this, right? And I'm going to show you the trial deck triple rares. The trial deck triple rares are pretty easy to spot. They are the girls in the bikinis. So I shouldn't use best selling. Here we go. First one we got is Uraha. You can check her out right there, looking off into the distance. Right now she is priced at $101.98. 2 less listings. We have Haruhi here, right? Sold out 2 listings. That one's 30 cents. So I wonder if that's a horrible mistake. I guess it's just a horrible mistake. Like maybe this dude put the wrong card up, or he meant to write $30 and he wrote 30 cents. I'm not really sure what happened there, but that actually happened on the Megumi as well, 30 cents. is what that sold for. Now it's $150. Think about this. I'm gonna try to explain this. So as we know, anybody that knows about cases and stuff, this is for the newer type people. Inside of a case of trial decks, let me just bring that up. Let me bring that up. It would help if someone actually bought it because this is sorted by market high to low, and I guess no one bought any. So load faster. Okay, right here. So inside of this is inside of a big brown case is 8 of these 6 packs, right? 8 of these 6 packs. Inside of that actual case, inside of these 6 packs, you're going to see 2 of the 6 packs with the SP Megumi, the one that was $444. You're going to see 6 other ones that have triple rares in there. Now, I saw someone question this. They were wondering why is there no SP and triple rare inside of a trial deck display. This is my thoughts only. What I will say is this thing came out many years ago. And back then, that's how it was, right? There was an SP only in the actual display. So when Bushiroad decided to print this for English side, they did not mess with the amount of drop rate that happened there. It makes sense to me. One other way I confirmed this was by looking at Strictly Broken. Hello, Strictly Broken. What you could see quantity-wise, unless they kept some for themselves. Like, obviously, I don't know that. But we have this triple rare, triple rare, triple rare for each. So that is 12. Plus, we have 4 of these SPs. And if I do the math on that, that gives me 16. They opened 2 cases of this, which makes sense because I got 2 of these. And that's how I came about that. Again, if they kept 1 or something like that, then maybe I'm off here. But that's what I've come up with. That's all I've seen from people opening displays anyways, is that you're only going to get 1 SP or 1 triple R. It's not both from what I've seen, but if I'm wrong on that, this is the anecdotal evidence that I have received. Okay, so we talked about triple rare. So if you think about what you really saw with the triple rares on TCG Player again, there is a huge amount of non-listings, right? So if we add this up here, we got 3 over here. There's 1 sold, 2 listed, 2 Aries, and then we had 2 Megumis, right? 1 sold, 1 listed. That is not a lot of trial decks that was actually open. There was a severe lack of interest, or people just love these cards and didn't want to put it up for sale. I got the Aries. It looks super nice. The other thing I want to point out here is when you look at Strictly Broken, I've said this, and I mean no harm in saying this, but when you take a look at Strictly Broken, their prices are definitely a lot lower than TCG Player. Like, right, I just showed you the Izumi in the 60s, $40. When you see a competitor website to TCG Player actually selling these for lowers, you know you are in a problem. You have a huge problem here. That this market, this TCG Player is not right with the amount of people out there. You don't have people buying from here. And Strictly Broken is being the lesser amount. So if you are looking for cards, plug out there, Strictly Broken TCG, check them out. There is a decent amount of cards here that are lower price than TCG Player. Going to this card. So let me show this in common. What people have been doing has been buying certain cards out. And you can see this here with this pulling an all-nighter to game Saekano. So you can see here 34s, 30s, 99, and 30 cents. I was watching a YouTube video from Burn One. Check them out. Burn One, on they were doing their second podcast episode. I only got halfway through because I got busy with work, but I had a bunch of meetings. But you could see this card was 30 cents. They were talking about how people were buying this card out. And I wrote on the YouTube, I was like, hey, by the way, there's some for 30 cents. And I don't know who bought that. Hopefully they saw that in time to actually get some of these cards. But if not, they do pop up from time to time. But even then, when you think about it, it's not a whole lot of them, right? Because this is probably, I mean, obviously this is one seller, another seller, another seller. This is an uncommon. Uncommons, there should be a bunch of listings, but what you see here is these are uncommon, 7 listings, 6 listings, 6 listings, 7, right? So there's not a whole lot of people that have been trying to open this to try to turn around and flip this, right? Not a lot of that going on. We have a bunch of these rares. So unexpected gift Izumi. This one has been bought as well. There has been a few of these sales happening here, but it's not a lot. And then I'm going to show you the double rares because normally around this time for the more popular sets, like if you go back a few months, we'd be on 20 something listings. You can see here we got 14 listings. So there is a huge lack of interest in this set. It could be, again, the recession, people not wanting to open this because the value's not there. A few things happening there, but this is enough evidence to tell me that we are facing some kind of headwinds. Printing older sets, printing stuff that is not hype, right? Like if you were to print Chainsaw Man right now, it would do really, really well. You'd be selling a lot of these sets, but for printing something older, not as playable, missing signatures, that's the theme for today. You cannot be selling sets like this in the current market conditions. So the good part about this, as you see with the coming soon, I think this is a time for them to sit back and reevaluate which sets you want to put first or maybe intermix. I know someone was saying on my comments before about maybe you do a set that is really awesome and put in something that's not so great. When you took a look at the actual product schedule that we had here, let me go all the way back up. All the way back up. Let's take a look at the product schedule. What we had just recently, right? We had Hololive Premium, which was good. But then you had Dreaming Girl, you had Bunny Girl Senpai, you had Saekano. 3 of them that in a row, just not the greatest. You had Attack on Titan, which was a little iffy. You had Tokyo Revengers, not so great. You had Quints, that was good. So you can see what needs to really happen. I would definitely suggest if they haven't nailed down the product schedule that you really, really consider which ones you're going to put in here, how you're going to slot them. That is very important coming into or during this actual recession, this time of people budgeting and not having as much money as they did before. And if you were looking for cards, you might just want to check out Strictly Broken as well. There's other websites out there. Go on Facebook, eBay, whatever you want, and just check them out. I was going to talk about Dreaming Girl, Bunny Girl Senpai, but you get the drift. These sets didn't do good, didn't do well. Proper English, right? They didn't do well just because of lack of signatures. They got serial numbers. They're not heavy played as much as people want to pump Bunny Girl. Pump as in, I'm not talking about pricing, but how amazing this whole series is. It's not meant for everybody. I cannot tell you how much I could tell people that Bunny Girl Senpai is an awesome show, but then they watch it and it's not so good. It was definitely a show that was only meant for certain people, right? As with any show out there in the world. Chainsaw Man might be really good, but not everybody's going to enjoy it. So that's where we are in the world. My stuff isn't going to appeal to everybody. Your stuff is not going to appeal to me. My sister was showing me, what is it, the British the British baking show, something like that, and it's just okay to me. I'm not into a lot of desserts and all that. Maybe that's my problem. Overall, it's a delightful show. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me, right? And same thing, Bunny Girl Senpai, Dreaming Girl, Saekano. It's not for everybody. And that's what they really need to do, try to figure out to make sure that they have a huge amount of sales. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. That explain what's actually happening here. There was nothing wrong about these $40 boxes. It's more that people just don't have the money to buy everything. And going forward, people are definitely going to be choosy about what they buy or not buy. Like $1,000 Magic the Gathering proxy set. Okay, as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.